Hi everyone, welcome back to day 21 of the 100 Day Heal Your Inner Child series. And we've gone through many layers of how you can connect with your inner child, how you can understand your inner child, and how working on those emotions can actually greatly impact our adult life, right? Um, every area of your life, folks, every area of your life will get affected by this inner child, how this inner child received love, how this inner child was treated, how this inner child perceived those reactions or emotions, and then, of course, how they have stored these emotions, right? They will all dictate how, your emotions, your well-being, your life is uh, you know manifesting right now in your adult present self, right? So today I want to talk about identifying those unmet needs of your inner child. Now let me tell you a story before we start. Okay, what does it really mean? Now what happens is, I'll give you an example. Okay, suppose you're like 5 years old, okay, or you're 6 years old, okay. And what's happening is you're constantly around parents who are either busy or, they are engulfed in some sort of, grief in their own life, or they are fighting, or whatever the issue is, they are not able to give you that attention, right? That every child wants at all times, right? And sometimes you don't want 24/7 attention, but then you want them to attend to you at certain times. And if they are not available, then that's the beginning of, some sort of an inner child wound, right? So an example would be that if they are very busy, right? And now you need attention as the child. And what happens is that you start to see that every time somebody is angry, this is what you learn from your environment. Every time somebody's throwing a fit or somebody's screaming, shouting, they tend to get attention, right? So now your unmet need is that of feeling loved. Yeah. Like somebody comes and hugs you. You're a child after all, right? You want that warmth, right? You want that feeling of feeling loved. So, but you're not getting that, right? So now you need to throw a tantrum. You need to be angry in order to get that attention. And in the process, the parent might be even more angry or whatever it is, but then they kind of yield to giving you that attention, right? And then you get that maybe hug or whatever it is that you're looking for, right? So this is one example. However, if you keep doing this as a strategy, you develop this, behavior in order to get attention now, and you're never able to get, love or acceptance or respect just like that without throwing a tantrum. Then what happens is now your coping mechanism is to actually always go to the emotion of anger every time you want to feel loved. You see how toxic it can get as an adult as well. So now what's happening is your unmet need is actually for attention, to be loved, but you cannot even ask for it now, even if you could, right? You've developed a coping mechanism of anger in order to go there. So every time you feel neglected, you switch to anger. You see. So today, however, in a healthy relationship or when you're growing up or in a healthy environment, you want to kind of like break through that mold of all of these coping mechanisms so that you can actually be able to ask for what you need, right? And of course, know what you need. A lot of us don't even are not even aware of our needs, our emotional needs, right? We say we want money, but then again, what is money going to bring you? It's going to bring you security. It's going to make you feel secure. It's going to make you feel loved. It's for everybody's going to be different, right? So what's that need that you're looking for? instead of aimlessly just going out there and you know playing this game. Yeah. So today it's about understanding those unmet needs, and then as much as possible as your adult self be able to give that to yourself, because that unmet need is actually creating a lot of issues in your body, mind and spirit actually. Yeah. So let's do a quick exercise actually to understand those needs, and then we'll go deeper into how you can even recognize those emotions. Um, because for somebody, anger could be getting attention or love. For somebody, anger could be you know a way of asking for help. Yeah. That expression of actual helplessness is coming out as anger. Yeah. So whatever it is for you, you will have to recognize that. And that's why this exercise is very important today. Yeah. Okay. So please find the quiet space, place your hand on your heart and take 3 long, deep breaths and relax. Guys, this exercise is very powerful for many people, many of my clients. Sometimes I just do this exercise, and there is so much release. So please go back to day one of the series and try and do all the exercise one day after the other, because there is a whole sequence to it, right? And it will be super powerful and healing for all of you. Okay. And of course, like I said, there is a disclaimer that if you feel like there is a particular issue, which might, of course, happen with all of you, where you want to go deeper or you feel like you're not able to work on that one particular issue, do book a one-on-one session. You can book a session with me as well or with anyone else to, address those various areas where you feel that you're not able to move on your own. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, place your hand on your heart. Take 3 long deep breaths. And now I want you to visualize your younger self, whatever age comes to mind, first age that comes to mind. Notice how they look, notice what they're doing. And now gently ask this child, what did you need the most that you didn't receive? What did you need the most that you didn't receive? And allow these answers to arise softly, you know, because many of our inner children, right? They just wanted to be loved without having to prove anything. Yeah? They don't want to only be loved when they got 90, when they got 100. Yeah. They don't want to only be loved when they ate their food. Yeah. We were forced to become a good boy and a good girl in order to be loved. But that inner child wanted to be loved irrespective of being a good boy or a good girl. That inner child probably wanted to be protected at all times. It wanted to be heard. It wanted, that inner child wanted to be believed, isn't it? So many times children learn to manipulate, right? And make things up or say things in a way that aligns with their parents or caretakers just to be believed, right? That inner child probably wanted to just cry and not be judged for it, not be called a whatever, all the names. Sometimes that inner child just wanted to be held and be told that everything is going to be okay. But But maybe the inner child never got that, right? Every time they got home, they probably saw fights, they probably saw money struggles, they probably saw, there's constantly some sort of an issue going on. So they had to bear the brunt of being that brave child. Yeah. So they couldn't just, they never heard that everything is going to be fine because there was constant chaos. Sometimes an inner child probably just wanted to be, yeah, just no responsibilities, no taking care of anyone, no pretending to be safe, no pretending to be brave, right? Just being the child. So as you hear, these needs, don't rush to fix them right now. I just want you to collect the data. Just acknowledge them. Because this inner child of yours, if it's telling you all of these things, it's not even never got anybody to hear it out. Because it was always doing something, right? It was always in the doing phase, never in the being phase, probably. So just acknowledge all of these needs and just whisper to your inner child, I see you, I understand why you felt this way, and you deserved all that you needed. Yeah, you deserved all that you needed. Just validate your inner child. This is that one moment of recognition, right? Don't rush into any kind of repair work. Just recognize. Because healing starts with seeing. Once you acknowledge, the healing has begun. Yeah, beautiful. Now, how do you put this thing into action in your daily life, in your daily adult life? For example, every time, for whatever you're feeling, for example, you're feeling anxious, try and question yourself, what do I really need in this moment? Yes, I'm feeling anxious, but that's probably masking the actual need. Your need might be for reassurance. So write it down. If you're feeling angry, what's the need behind it? The need is probably to be respected, whatever it is for you. Recognize it and write it down. When you're recognizing and writing it down, it's actually your inner child telling you this is what it is. And your inner child learn to be angry to be respected. It learned to be anxious to be reassured. If you're feeling sad, the need is probably need of connection or need of comfort. Write that down. So when you start naming your needs, you stop abandoning yourself and you begin to reparent yourself with this awareness. That's what we're doing. Yeah. So the journal prompts for today would be, what are the three core needs my inner child did not have met? So what were the three core needs my inner child did not uh, have met, right? What were those needs? Second would be, how did I learn to cope with when those needs were not fulfilled? Yeah. So for example, if you wanted to be respect, there was anger. That's how you coped. So how did you cope? And the third would be, what would it look like to meet these needs myself now in gentle daily ways? So if I want to be respected and I'm coping by being angry, so how do I give myself that respect and slowly let this anger fade away? So how do I do that? Yeah. Now, I think this will be enough for today because this is an exercise in awareness. The more you focus on it, the more you inculcate it in your daily lives, the more changes you'll see. And slowly, you'll not, there will be, you won't require the need to mask your needs anymore. Yeah. So try this out and do leave a comment telling me how you felt. Signing off, Anisha. That's from Zarya Healings.